Welcome back to another episode of Clay Wars. This is actually the second episode, and last time cities are getting new villages and fortresses were getting built, new technologies were found, and a potential war that might occur soon because of the landmark, and now they know each other's existence. Well, let's now continue. So we learned about the little fortress. And let's get some red clay soldiers. They all they're all guarding that fortress. They have they learned about sticks and flint. Yep. So their fortress will be they will protect their places from harm's way. Oh, first sign of conflict. A dead body. They're already encroaching on each other's territories. This results in the oh, they're fighting. They're fighting. Look at that. Not really harsh, but they are fighting. Oh, another dead body. This eventually causes the fort, a new fort to be built. Oh, more fighting occurs while they're building the fort. This is now this is where the fort and the walls start coming in. Torches are now being made and placed. And then they make their own fence lines so they can protect their border easily. Now, there's a large division. The result, the clays send more soldiers, the normal clay sent more of their soldiers to get red, but they learn about the secret weapon the reds use, poison. Oh, but unfortunately they were outnumbered, so... Oh, a lot are gonna drown now. Shoot. Well, expecting an entire death of an army. While at that, more walls were being built. This was created so the army can protect their own lands from being destroyed. Or not really getting destroyed, it's more from being taken over and destroyed. Oh. Well, they can't even cross through water anyways. There, first part of the wall with some torches, so they can really tell where the border is and where it isn't. The belief of this wall will keep the clay people happy. They keep the clay people from worrying about the Reds' invasion. I don't know, let's actually check on the... Well, let's just take some of it. I'm not gonna go down into the water for long. Because if I do, that will probably be horrible. So let's just say some lives have been lost. Because of this horrible conflict. More of the wall is built, creating one of the biggest rifts in this wall kept going and going until and now the wall has been finished. Well, hold on, there's actually a cave in there. Gotta go get that cave lit up before all the bad occurs. Now the wall would be built, creating basically a segregation. Well, I guess it is segregating or dividing. Oh, more battles. The Reds keep attacking each other. Dang, some of the Reds are actually doing pretty well. The constant fighting keeps this from ever being safe. But unfortunately, there was a cave, so they had to do even more work. Meaning caves were even separate. That means, unfortunately, the normal clays had access to the caves. And the caves are pretty big. Well, the the wall was completed, meaning the clays were officially safe. As long as they kept protecting it, they would be safe. Not long after, the no the clays have learned about sticks. Now they were getting betterly armed, better defenses. And now some border towns were occurring because of this. They knew about the dangers of the red, but it was probably safer by the light of the border. This is where the soldiers now lived. Some of the soldiers just knew it was a nicer and safer place than just plain out living in the deeper parts. Well, it's better than living in the dry lands. Yep, that's what the area is, the dry lands. These are the lands where no clay figure dares, because they will all dry up. And you'll probably be thinking, where's all the farms and stuff? Well, because they live in a mushroom biome, and there's a lot of mushrooms everywhere, they can just harvest mushrooms. So it gives them a lot of benefits. But eventually farming will occur. More homes were getting built to keep the population from to help the border village was given sticks and more clay soldiers. More clay soldiers, more sticks. Help protect the border from the potential red clays. The red clays place were pretty stagnant, not doing much. Occasionally, few houses were built. The occasional houses just help provide more places of living. Some of the clays who were mining occasionally a few of the clays soldiers do a foolish decision of entering, and it's basically now no man's land because all of them will die if they constantly attack each other. Well, if they constantly attack, they will all die. so no one really gains the territory. Telling the territory belongs the territory, I don't know, north of the wall is for the Reds, but the normal Clays don't care. So in response, they built more villages so they can have more soldiers nearby. This was actually a mining village, so they were gonna get more resources by the day. And also it was a way of access from the above to the below. The little secondary village was created. They were given sticks and flint, and also mushroom, the red ones. The massacres and casualties were high. Problem is, the more undefended ones, the more undefended normal clays died in this battle. Some of the food were given to the enemies. They kept resupplying. They were losing the border wars. That's what. And they also, well, occasional clay people decide to just live in random little huts they can just build. So they can just live by the border and at least help defend their own nation. More villages were getting made. But then, more mines were getting made. And when more mines are made, more resources they can harvest. They had one big plan, is to make a grand city near the border. Because after all, they really didn't have much area to build. And so, the clay soldiers decided to just build near the border. More small villages were popping up, so they can... This one was a fishing village. And this was now the introduction of the first new type of food, fish. Raw, because they didn't understand cooking. They all went near fishing. They all fish. I don't know why I said near fishing. They all fished. They even built a quote unquote dock. Uh, this dock would keep them fed for a while. Some built even more little housing. And well, the world was just still. Constant little warfare and 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 more development to the civilizations around. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the second episode. It wasn't much, but hey, it was a bit. There was at least some action occurring with the reds and the normals. Well, I do hope you liked this episode, so like and subscribe, and see ya.